Welcome to the Just Nuke It podcast. This week, we're launching an apocalyptic probe
Oh, yeah?
into two thrilling flash fiction stories that throw everyday people
Okay.
into extraordinary end-of-the-world scenarios.
All right.
Get ready for unlikely heroes, impossible odds,
Yeah.
and a healthy dose of adrenaline.
I'm ready.
Rate and follow for more captivating tales from the Just Nuke It podcast.
So, when you look at these two flash fiction stories, the thing that really jumps out at me is the contrast. In the nature of the cataclysm, like we go from meteors to a slow ice age.
Yeah.
It makes you think how different types of disasters would test society and individual resilience.
Absolutely. Our first apocalyptic probe takes us into saving the world for dummies.
Okay.
Picture this. It's just a regular Tuesday for Felix.
Yeah.
He's dealing with the usual office grind, TPS reports, questionable leftovers in the break room,
Oh, no.
and then bam,
yeah.
meteors start raining down. Suddenly, he's thrown into this unbelievable situation, ends up partnering with Burt from accounting. You know, the office conspiracy theorist,
The one
who it turns out might have been onto something
Right.
after all.
It's interesting because it takes the utterly mundane and smashes it against the extraordinary. You, as a listener, can relate to the drudgery of office life. Imagine that being instantly upended
Oh, yeah.
makes you consider how you might react
I know.
when normalcy vanishes.
Right. Burt's initial theories might be a little out there. Lizard people,
Oh, jeez.
space worms. But their immediate focus is simply getting out alive.
Okay.
They've got this hastily drawn map leading to a supposed safe zone, and we follow their frantic escape from the collapsing office building.
Wow.
Encounters with these bizarre, giant squid-like creatures
No way.
and tentacled horrors, and just when they think they might have a chance, their getaway car runs out of gas,
Ugh.
leading to this desperate dash for Felix's old reliable clunker.
Oh, wow.
A surprising stroke of luck amidst all the chaos.
Those fantastical creatures really elevate the stakes. It adds an element of the completely unknown, like something outside our usual frame of reference for apocalyptic scenarios that detail about the empty gas tank. It's brilliant. It grounds the unbelievable in the very relatable annoyance of everyday life.
Yeah.
Even as the world is ending.
I know, right?
Felix's old car becoming their lifeline. It's a great example of how unexpected resources become vital in a crisis.
Totally. And that's just the beginning. The adventure really ramps up
Okay.
with Burt's, shall we say,
Oh.
enthusiastic driving,
Oh.
his somewhat less than accurate crossbow skills, and then their unexpected encounter with Piper,
Piper.
this fearless teenager who seems to possess incredible strength and carries around a giant wrench like it's an everyday accessory.
Wow.
She becomes this crucial, if unlikely,
Yeah.
ally. And suddenly you've got this bizarre trio hurtling towards an uncertain future.
So what is this? Initial chaotic scramble and the formation of this improbable team tell you about who steps up when everything falls apart.
You know, this is where we start to see the established social order completely dissolve, Felix's place in the office hierarchy, his daily routine.
Yeah.
None of that dictates his survival now. Instead, it's about adaptability
Yeah.
and unexpected skills.
Very.
Burt's long-held, ridiculed beliefs suddenly become a form of, well, maybe not accurate foresight, but certainly a mindset
Yeah.
geared towards the unexpected.
Okay.
And Piper's seemingly random strength and fearlessness demonstrate how traditional notions of who holds power or capability can be completely upended. It suggests that in true crisis, resourcefulness and even a bit of eccentricity might be more valuable than conventional strength.
It makes you think about the people you know. Who might possess those hidden reserves of courage or those surprising skills that would suddenly become invaluable?
Right.
Maybe it's the quiet neighbor or the quirky coworker.
Yeah.
You just never know who might rise to the occasion.
It really challenges our everyday assumptions about heroism.
It's not the obvious candidates who emerge as leaders or key players.
Right.
It's often those who
Yeah.
can adapt, who possess specific knowledge, or a particular kind of resilience that the new reality demands.
Okay. Our second flash fiction story takes us to a completely different kind of apocalypse.
Okay.
One that literally chills you to the bone.
Right.
The Chronicles of the Ice Age introduces us to Tora, a teenager who possesses a mysterious immunity, this resistance to a sudden catastrophic ice age that has frozen the entire world
in the world.
and brought with it these terrifying, monstrous ice creatures.
Ice creatures.
This shift in apocalyptic scenario here is dramatic. We move from a rapid, violent impact event to a slow, creeping environmental disaster. The image of a world suddenly encased in ice.
Oh, wow.
And these creatures, emerging from that frozen landscape, taps into a very different kind of fear. Fear of the cold, of the vast, and unforgiving power of nature, turned against us in a fundamental way. We then delve into the immediate aftermath of this global freeze, the sheer scale of devastation, and Tora's almost unbelievable ability to not only survive, but seemingly thrive in this sub-zero world.
She thrives.
The story follows her decision to head south, towards this almost mythical sunbelt.
It's a sunbelt.
A faint glimmer of hope. In what has become a frozen wasteland, along her journey, she gathers a small, desperate group of survivors. Including Jax. A young chatty fellow who's handy with a crossbow. And Mara, an elder whose knowledge of cold-resistant plants proves to be crucial.
Tora's resistance to the cold immediately marks her as an anomaly, someone set apart. In this frozen world, it creates an interesting dynamic within the group. Is she a savior, a curiosity, or perhaps a threat? The idea of a sunbelt provides that essential element of hope, a focal point for their struggle. In an otherwise bleak and seemingly hopeless environment, the composition of Tora's group highlights the different skills and types of knowledge that become essential for survival in this specific apocalypse. Combatability, environmental awareness, and even just the comfort of companionship in the face of overwhelming isolation.
Their journey becomes this brutal, relentless fight for survival.
A fight for survival.
Not just against the deadly cold and the terrifying ice creatures that now roam the earth, but also against other desperate humans who have turned to raiding and exploitation.
We learn about Tora's unique power, her ability to actually draw the cold into herself, making her not just resistant to it, but a dangerous weapon against the environment and their enemies.
The story culminates with them facing this massive horde of ice creatures, their future hanging in the balance, but their determination remaining unbroken.
So what does this tale of incredible resilience in the face of such an overwhelming environmental catastrophe spark in your imagination about the absolute limits of human endurance?
What's compelling about this scenario is the focus on adapting to a completely transformed environment. It's not about rebuilding what was lost. It's about finding a way to exist in a fundamentally altered reality. The ice creatures themselves are a direct consequence of this new world order, forcing the survivors to evolve new ways to survive, and Tora's ability to weaponize the very thing that threatens them is a fascinating twist.
It is.
It makes you wonder about the potential for unexpected human adaptations. When faced with truly existential threats, perhaps there are latent abilities within us that only emerge when pushed to the absolute brink. It's as if nature itself has become the primary antagonist. And survival isn't just about weathering the storm, but about finding a way to actually turn that storm to your advantage. And as you mentioned, the presence of the raiders serves as a stark reminder that even in the face of a global crisis, the threat posed by other humans doesn't simply vanish.
The collapse of civilization doesn't magically erase the complexities of human nature, in fact. It often amplifies both the best and the worst aspects that raiders represent. The darker side of desperation, the willingness to prey on others. For survival, this adds another layer of complexity to Tora's challenges, forcing her and her group to contend with not only the hostile environment and its monstrous inhabitants, but also the ever-present danger of other desperate people.
So there you have it. 2 glimpses into worlds ending in drastically different ways, yet both highlighting the incredible resilience of the human spirit and the unexpected alliances that can form when everything we know collapses.
What's interesting is when you consider both these apocalyptic prose together, is that despite the wildly different nature of the apocalypses, both stories hinge on the formation of these unlikely communities, whether it's the accidental partnership between the office worker and the conspiracy theorist, or the small band of survivors coalescing around Tora's unique abilities. It seems that human connection, in whatever unexpected form it takes, becomes a crucial element for survival in the face of utter devastation.
Consider this as you go about your day. In both of these stories, Ordinary individuals are thrust into the most extraordinary circumstances imaginable.
Yeah.
And in doing so, they discover strengths they never knew they possessed.
What kind of hero would you be if you were faced with an apocalyptic event?
What type of apocalypse resonates most strongly with your own deepest fears? Or perhaps, surprisingly, your most intriguing what-ifs?
Which of these scenarios do you find more compelling, and why? Does the sudden chaos and absurdity of the meteor strike resonate more than the slow, grinding struggle against a frozen world? Your preference might tell you something about your own coping mechanisms and what you value in a crisis.
These apocalyptic probes offer just a small taste of the vast and imaginative landscape of end-of-the-world narratives found in flash fiction.
We highly encourage you. Seek out more of these concise and powerful stories. Explore the myriad ways humanity has envisioned its own demise, and perhaps more importantly, its potential for survival.
What other wild and thought-provoking tales are out there, just waiting to be discovered?
These seemingly fantastical flash fiction stories can offer us a safe space to contemplate very real questions about human nature, resilience, and the importance of community. When faced with extreme adversity, by exploring these fictional ends of the world, we might gain more insight into our own potential responses to the unimaginable, and perhaps even find a strange preparedness in that contemplation.
Thank you for joining us for this apocalyptic probe on the Just Nuke It podcast. Don't forget to rate and follow the show. For more captivating stories from the fringes of fiction, until our next exploration into the end of days, keep those survival instincts sharp.